Yo, what is going on? Forza Milan, everybody. Forza Milan. Um, Wanted to do a live tonight to talk a little bit about some of the things that are going on in the AC Milan world. It's been quite interesting going through this period of the World Cup and following the World Cup. You know, the World Cup has turned out to be a great story. I gotta say, this World Cup was excellent World Cup. All World Cups or the World Cup is such a great tournament, and this one too is just an exceptional story. First time an African team makes the semifinal. I mean, that is awesome. Really happy for Morocco. And I think some things that I want need to be said about Morocco is that some of those players are performing at a very high level, and Milan should be looking at those players for sure. Milan should definitely be looking at those players, and there's also players in the Croatian team that Milan should be looking to. Croatia also are really good. Croatia against Brazil, Croatia was really impressive. Against Brazil, Croatia was really impressive. That was a chess match, and Croatia won that chess match. Croatia won that chess match. France, England, great game. Every time it's always an epic game. Every time the big footballing countries meet each other, it's always epic. And Argentina, Holland, wow, Holland 2-2. I can't believe that last goal Holland scored at the last minute. That play was absolute brilliance. That was 100% genius. That was so genius. That last play. And you know what I took out of the Argentina squad is those guys are nasty, man. Argentina is going to use. They're going to take it a step further. You know, Argentina is going to face this game, the next game coming up with a lot of character, a lot of anger, a lot of they're provoking their opponents. It's a little bit ugly what Argentina's doing. I don't know if it's really good sportsmanship. To be honest with you, I think it's an ugly way to win when you do it that way. Do I respect it? Hmm. I'd be honest with you, I don't. I don't respect that way of behaving. I don't respect that kind of nastiness. I think you look better when you win, you know, through a different kind of energy, through an energy of love, an energy of respect of your opponents, respect who you're playing against, and you know, Holland, obviously, they provoke too. Holland is known for being a nasty team and having players that will get under your skin. Um, but I think Argentina's taking it a little bit too far. So I think that is a little bit of a dark cloud over Argentina. I don't know how if that's going to help them. Now, I'm assuming, judging by that, what Argentina wants to do against Croatia is to not outplay Croatia, but just piss Croatia off and just get them off their game, get under their skin, and get in fights and provoke and just in order to take get Croatia off of their balance. I mean that can work. That can work. If Croatia falls for that and they fall for all the provocations, I mean it could do two things. Either it it could motivate Croatia to play even harder and to focus more, to play with more courage, or it could be the complete opposite, which would put Croatia would not give Croatia any ability to focus, and they wouldn't be able to win that game because Croatia has no offense. Croatia is all midfield and exceptional defense. The midfield of Croatia is absolutely genius. Brozovic, Kovacic, and Modric is the best midfield in the world, probably the best midfield in the world if you really think about it. It is the most qualitative, balanced. It's got everything. It's like just a top-notch machine kind of midfield. Now, all three of them complement each other very well, but mind you, you take away Modric, it's not the best midfielder in the world anymore. What makes it the best midfield in the world is Modric. But Modric is assisted by two very good players with good quality that know how to play, know how to ball, know how to create space, know how to pass the ball. So Modric is, he's got good company with him. But let's not get it twisted. You take out Brozovic, you put in someone else, it's still one of the best midfields in the world. You take Kovacic, you put someone else, it's still one of the best midfields in the world. You take Modric, it's a normal. Take Modric out, it's a normal midfield. Modric is just, the savant. He is the genius savant. He is the Pirlo of his generation, the Savi of his generation. So he's the one. He is the one with the highest IQ. Um, and it helps. It definitely helps. So I guess it's very simple. If you want to stop Croatia, you stop Modric. But stopping Modric, I mean, every coach in the world knows that if you want to stop a team with Modric, that's who you stop, Modric. So it's not like Modric. It's not like Modric doesn't know how to counter that. So I think because of how Argentina approached that game with Holland, I think Argentina is going to try to, you know, a lot of fouls, a lot of yellow cards, a lot of talking shit to the referee, a lot of talking shit and provoking. It's going to be a nasty kind of game, and I think that's what they have to do. And I think the reason why they have to do that is because if you really think about this team, as far as quality goes, Argentina is not. This is not the most qualitative team that we've seen from Argentina in their history, right? Because there was an Argentina. There used to be an Argentina where there was a lot of quality attackers. Aguero, um, you know, that just the generation just prior to this one, when you had Aguero, Messi, Tevez, you had Di Maria when he was at his prime. You had Dybala, you had Icardi. So that team had a lot of quality. This team here, it's really just Messi. You take Messi out of this team, and they definitely lose something. But the thing about Messi is this: uh, off the ball, Messi doesn't work. He pretty much saves his whole energy for the moments when he has the ball. So basically, the team is everybody works for Messi. This is Messi's World Cup. The team is literally operating on that wavelength. So they're literally doing it. They're literally winning. They want to win it for Messi. It is that kind of situation, and you can see it. You can see it transpire on the pitch. You can see how the team plays. Against Holland, they played with a 5-3-2. When has Argentina ever played with a 5-3-2? Five defenders, three midfielders, and then Messi and Alvarez. Um, that is uh, that is not Argentina's usual DNA. But one thing is interesting about Argentina and how all teams have their own DNA. The last time Argentina won a World Cup is when the whole team played for Maradona. So maybe this is how Argentina wins World Cups. So they need to have their idol, their leader, their almost god, and they play for him. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't work. Who knows? I think it's going to be very difficult because if I were to look at this game, Argentina, um, if I would look to it, it's going to be maybe it's not going to be Croatia is not going to be able to hold the ball as easily as they did with Brazil. So against Brazil, holding the ball, if you know how to hold the ball in the midfield, is pretty easy because Brazil had five strikers and only one really midfield. They only had Casemiro, who's your work rate guy, but everybody else, Paquetá, Vinicius Juniors, Neymar, Richarlison, and Rafinha, none of those guys are going to do any work for you. They're not going to break a sweat for you. So if you know how to hold the ball, holding the ball against Brazil is pretty easy. But against Argentina, no, it's not going to be as easy. Argentina, instead, you're going to see more of a battle in the midfield. So you're not going to see Croatia build and move the ball around and hold the ball for long periods of time. But you are going to see a Croatia that is going to be forced to play more direct. So that can be pretty interesting. Um, Basically, when your opponent takes away, doesn't allow you to play possession football, then your next solution is to play direct football. So Croatia is going to do something in between direct football and possession football. And the more or less the same thing is going to be done by Argentina, because Argentina is not a team that has a lot of. They don't have enough quality to play possession football, but they have enough quality to play direct football and then send it to Messi and then let Messi create. That is Argentina. Just play, get it up there to Messi, cover him, protect him, let Messi use the other guys to create. Essentially, that's Argentina. And I think Messi has been involved in every single goal so far, maybe minus one, which is what he did in the Copa Libertadores, by the way. Messi was involved in 12 goals or 11 goals. Yeah, that is why they gave him the Ballon d'Or, essentially. That and probably bias. But Messi is the best goal scorer probably in the history of the game, if you really think about it. So I think one of the major differences between Brazil and Argentina is that against Argentina, when you have someone as pristine and as precise as Messi, you have to be extra careful because the Brazilian players, they don't have that kind of acute angles, right? The Brazilian players have a lot of flair, but Messi is finding those impossible channels, is finding those impossible solutions. It's like mathematics at a higher level. So, it's going to be more difficult for the Croatian goalkeeper. It's going to be more difficult for the Croatian defenders. But the midfield battle, Croatia is going to win that battle as far as quality goes. We're going to win the battle against any team. Um, let I guess they have to try and score, but I don't know how they're going to score because Croatia has absolutely nothing up front. They literally have nothing. So they have to find a way to score. Maybe take it to penalties. Probably they can take it to penalties or find a late goal at the end. Who knows? Who knows what we're going to do? All right, so that's going to be that game. I think that's going to be very interesting. Then the next game is Morocco, France. What to expect? Well, so Morocco is 100% the team that has the best spirit, the best unity, the best group. They're sacrificing for each other. They have 1 billion people behind them supporting them. So Morocco is as a unit, it's a force. It's a force that is very difficult to penetrate. So so Morocco will probably play similar to how they played with against Spain and against Portugal. We're going to have to defend and we're going to have to counterattack. Now, France, on the other hand, as far as the midfield goes, they play with Chamonix and Rabiot. Those are 2 defensive midfielders, so it's not like France has incredible quality at holding the ball. Excuse me. Yeah, so um, but they're very good at closing down. They're very good defensive midfielders. France is 100%, no doubt, the best built team in the World Cup. Um, as far as just the outlay of the team on the field, excellent goalkeeper. The defense is packed with experience and new guys like Del Hernandez, but they had Varane. Varane has won everything, so you have a lot of experience there. And they have the new guys. I'm not sure what their names are, but they did pretty well. Then you have Chamonix and Rabiot in the double pivot. It's a 4-2-3-1. That double pivot is perfect cover for what they have up top, which is Mbappe on the left, Griezmann in the middle, Dembele on the right, and Giroud on the top. Basically a diamond. It's 4-2 diamond. And Rabiot and Chamonix are the perfect players to cover that diamond. So right now, France is 100% the best built team in the World Cup due to the players they have. But Morocco has something else. Has hunger, and that hunger is something that in football you can't buy. You can't create. You either have it or you don't. And that is the hunger that makes you win games. That's the spirit. That is the hunger that you need to win big games. And as long as Morocco does what they did, just sacrifice for one another, play for one another, run for one another, cover every space for one another, then you have some excellent performers. Amrabat in that midfield has been doing excellent. So very, very. That's the player that I think Milan should be looking at. Actually, if I were to choose one, I think the two standout players to me in this World Cup have been Amrabat and Gvardiol, the defender of Croatia. Those two are definitely the standouts, and they we should be looking at those two guys. um, so yeah, it's going to be an interesting game. That one can go to penalties too. Essentially, both games are most likely going to end up in penalties. Maybe, maybe they both have the potential to because nobody's going to want to leave an inch. This is why this tournament is so amazing because when you get to this stage here, all the players have a tension, they have a pressure, but the tension that they're feeling right now, you know, the responsibility that these guys feel right now, all four of these teams, it's big. So nobody. These are the kind of games where everybody is going to play for each other. Everybody's going to support each other. Everybody's going to run for each other. Everybody's going to sacrifice for each other. These are those kind of games. So both games could essentially end up in penalties, and that would suit Croatia and Morocco. And if that happens, we'd have a final Croatia Morocco. That'll be amazing because both teams have not won the World Cup, so that would be two new World Cup winners. Other option is France Argentina for the final, and in that case, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Argentina has a strange way of playing. Anyway, it should be a really good World Cup. It should. I mean, the remaining the semifinal and the final are going to be absolutely phenomenal. They're going to be absolutely phenomenal. Okay, so let's talk a bit. Let's talk a little bit about Milan. Let's talk a little bit about Milan. So I saw a little bit of the training. So we're doing some exercises. Now Milan has to play Arsenal, Liverpool, and PSV. So the most exciting thing I'm about these three games is 100% PSV because in PSV there's a player that I saw this summer, which is absolutely phenomenal, and this player is called Joan Bakayoko. This guy is something special, and Milan is playing against his team. He had some very good performances these last games of the season before the World Cup. Um, he's played in different positions too. He's playing also on the left, even though most of what he did before was on the right. So we're going to be playing against him. I really want to see him. I hope we do get to see him. I'm very curious to see how he plays with he's only 19, so you got to be I don't know what to expect because he's only 19. But I really want to see this guy play. As far as our players, Ali, like what's this is the guy. I mean, once again in our friendlies, he is the player that shows us like good things. And despite the fact that the goal was a deflection off of him. But in that friendly against Lumitzani, he looked good. Like, this guy has qualities. I wish I understood what was happening with the team. Like, I wish. Like, what is going on with Ali? Like, I wish the Pioli would be a little bit more transparent about it, because this guy seems like a guy that has quality, and that's what we need. We need quality. What is quality? Quality is the ability to dribble, to create passes, to create space, to slow down, to speed up, to interact, to one twos, triangles, rectangles, whatever you want to call it. That is quality. One touch, two touch, perfect touches. And this is one of the players that has shown in the friendly matches that he has quality. So I wish we knew a little bit better what the deal was with this player. But we're just fans. We don't pay for the team. We don't put in any money, so we don't get to know. It's their business. It's just their business. Uh, I'm very curious to see how we play against Arsenal, because Arsenal is playing at a super high level right now. They're playing at a super high level in England, so I would really like to see how we play against them. The Liverpool game, I I'm pretty. I think that we're going to perform pretty well against Liverpool. I mean, I would find it kind of strange if we don't, to be honest with you, because now we've played Liverpool already twice. We know what it feels like. We've already been there. We've done that. So I mean, like, we know what to expect. They know what to expect. So I don't think that Milan is going to have much trouble against Liverpool. Actually, I think that is probably the game that we're going to win. I don't know about Arsenal. I don't know about PSV, but I think Liverpool is going to be the game. But guys, maybe in the end is going to be the complete opposite. But I would think that at this point, Milan knows how to play against Liverpool. But yeah, I would like to see Ali, um, and I would like to see Chow. Chow, I think, is an excellent signing. Definitely excellent signing. Um, uh, Pioli soon able to call upon his first choice back four, which is Calabria, Kalulu, Tomori, Theo Hernandez, and Mike Magnan. Don't forget, that is going to be absolute key when we have that. That is the fort. And then the midfield, we got Tonali, Benacer. Benacer is back. So it should be good. Giroud, by the way, guys, Giroud is kicking ass in the World Cup. You don't. Who needs Benzema when you got Giroud? So Theo screwed up royally against England. Man, that was a big screw up for Theo. Holy crap, that was a big screw up. That was a big screw up. Okay. An okay game against France, but this is the maximum England can ever. I don't know. Like, I don't want to sound like I bully England, but it's just like, if these guys took two-step backwards, they'd be able to take three steps forward. But they don't want to do that. They just don't want to do that. They don't want to do that. So it is what it is. It is what it is. Let's go to chat. What's up, SSB? How you doing, my man? Roy, I don't think there is any favorite left in the World Cup. Any favorite left in the World Cup? But look, it's four elements going at you. You have the most, tactically balanced team, which is France. You have a team that has a very nasty attitude right now, but maybe one of the greatest players of all time, Argentina. You have a team like Morocco, which is the team that has the best team spirit and the most. They look like the team that is the hungriest, that is usually the key. That is usually the key. And then you have the team that has the best midfield, the best midfield, the best genius as far as knowing how to make a team play from the middle, from a 360 degree. Because Messi does not do that. Messi plays up top. Modric plays everywhere. So, it's these four elements. Who is the favorite? I think Hungary. All right, I'm back. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. I got hacked. It was a hacker, guys. We got hacked. Okay, so those are your four elements that are playing against each other. Um, I feel like all four teams are kind of equal. Yeah, I agree. All Croatia to me is missing a nine. Yeah, they don't have an offense. They really don't. That's their weakness. Yeah, Roy Enzo and Alvarez are contributing as well. Yeah, of course, all of them are contributing. Yeah, they have talent for sure, but it's all about Messi, really. I mean, but of course, those guys have quality and they have talent. Yeah. Argentina will control the ball. They will control the ball, but not as much as Brazil. It won't be as clean as it was against Brazil. Um, Argentina will fight. They will fight. McAllister has been good for Argentina as well. Him and Enzo running the midfield. Morocco, quick transition. Yeah, Morocco has very good transitions. Absolutely, that's their strength. Morocco has those transitions and a very good defensive posture, and they have that spirit. It's all about that spirit. It's all about that sacrifice. It's about you sacrificing yourself for your teammate. That is what it's about. If you want to be champion, that is the easiest thing that you can do. You sacrifice yourself for your teammates, and this is what Morocco's doing. So yeah, as long as they keep on doing that, they can dream. Uh, France is France is beatable to me. Well, are they really? I don't know. I don't know if they're so easy to beat. I think France might be the most difficult one to beat, actually, in my opinion, because it's very built, very solid. Or maybe Morocco is the most difficult one to beat. I think Morocco is the most difficult one to beat because they're playing with a different kind of spirit behind them. Um, I think the easiest one to is Argentina. That is what I think, and it's because because that kind of attitude, I don't know if that attitude brings you results, you know? I don't think that attitude brings results. I think that attitude kind of makes you the bad guy, and then you, unless you want to win being the bad guy, I mean, is that what they want to do? Um, yeah, they. I'm not so positive about Argentina at this point. I'm not so positive. I think Croatia can figure out how to keep them at bay, and I think Croatia might be able to sneak it in either through penalties or not, or in the first 90 minutes, or in the 120 minutes. But there are certain things that need to happen. First of all, the only way for Croatia to win is for Modric to play every single minute of the game. As long as he's on the field, Croatia can win. Um, but yeah, that is my feeling. We'll see. We shall see. If, in my opinion, the most difficult team is to beat is Morocco. It has to be Morocco. Morocco, when you play in a team that has teammates that are willing to spill every ounce of blood they have in their body for their teammates, then it's very difficult to beat those kind of teams. They don't need to outplay you in the midfield. Those kind of teams, they really don't. All they need to do is just slightly put you off your game. It's finished. It's finished. It is finished. As long as they put you slightly off of your game, it can even be by small margins. It's done. So, yeah. Yeah, it can happen. We'll see. The way France played in that second half shocked me. I think Morocco can give France issues. France defense can be got at. Yeah, I wouldn't put it so easy though. Well, not so easy. I mean, to be fair, England is a good team. Yeah, England has good quality players. The problem with England is just the mentality with the English team is, but not just the mentality. It's also that I think one of the biggest problems of English players is that their mentality doesn't allow them to have that extra step, have that extra, I don't know, level that you need. I think it's just too much arrogance. It's too much arrogance. Just you can't get better when you're too arrogant, because players only get better when you know that every day is a day that you can use to get better, and it never ends. Knowledge never ends. Wisdom, knowledge, although all of these things never end. Every single day, there's more, there's more, there's more, there's more, and that's you have to kind of you have to look at it from a spiritual way, in a certain sense. You have to respect the process. You have to respect the what you do. You have to respect your opponents. You have to respect yourself. You have to respect the game. But with that kind of mentality they have, where they're just like, and I think it's just, and then also I don't want to talk too much about England, but this has been pretty much of the history of England as far as I've seen. So if they stop that kind of crap, which I don't think they will, because they're wired in a certain way, the country, the media, the way, and it's fine, whatever, doesn't matter. They definitely have the best league in the world. They have the Super League, so they get that. But nonetheless, they have a good team, and that team is good enough to give problems to a team like France. I mean, let's not get that twisted. Can Morocco do the same as that? Does Morocco has the same quality as England to control the ball and create chances for long periods of time? This Morocco, no. This Morocco is not built to do that. this Morocco is built to win games in another way, and as long as they play that way with that same spirit, yeah, they can go all the way. Actually, I think Morocco can go all the way, and I don't want to jinx it for them because I'd feel bad if I do. But I think Morocco can go all the way. I think Croatia can go all the way. I think France can go all the way. I'm not so sure about Argentina right now. That's the one that gives me a little bit of a doubt. But they could probably also go all the way. Yeah, all four teams can definitely win it. All four teams can definitely win it. Like the margins are very small. It's not like, you know, you look at one final and it's 70% this team, 30% this team, 80% this team, 20% that team. No, it's like 50-50, 50-50, or 59-51, 52-48, It's those kind of margins we're talking about. So it's going to be a fun semifinal. But we also get to watch Milan play against Liverpool, and we get to see also Milan play against Arsenal. Now that is going to be even more fun, actually. I cannot wait for that. And yeah, what else? I think that's pretty much it. Let's see if there's anything. Oh, Broya, this player that we've been looking at, he looks like he got injured today. I don't know how bad that injury is, and I don't know what that means. So this article came out here today. Milan fully convinced by Ziyech, but two obstacles must be overcome. Ziyech has been on the Rossoneri radar for some time as Milan and Ricky Massara tested the ground with the English club, blah, blah, blah. So the last I heard is that Ziyech was asking for 8 million, but Milan is not willing to go there. And I think we're talking gross, not net. So 8 million gross is more or less, I think, what Teo makes, I think, or more or less what Origi and Teo make. So that's what we're talking about, essentially. Can we? I don't know, guys. I really don't know what Milan is going to do in the mercato. I am quite baffled by how we manage this mercato. Honestly, guys, I'm going to say this. I'm going to say it. I don't care what people think. I don't give a shite. But this kind of reminds me of 2007 when we won the Champions League, and then the next season we weren't able to, or we did not renew the team, and we did not inject new quality in the team. It reminds me of that, but this time for different reasons. Now, I'm still very optimistic because I know why that happened. I mean, obviously, when things happen, you have to analyze them and you have to understand why they happened. Yeah, it happened because the management was the ownership. There was a turnover in ownership. There was a remodeling of everything. Maldini had to sign a new contract and all of that crap. But that Mercato, guys, was very disappointing, guys. Now, I think Chow is a phenomenal signing. CDK, let's see what he does. I'm optimistic about CDK. He had a little bit of experience with World Cup, but I'm sure CDK knows that he has to step it up. I mean, I don't need to tell him. Vranks, let's see if he gets to be a player that we keep in the end. Because Vranks is loan. Remember that all the players that we got, Vranks, Chow, those two players specifically were basically the players that were on the bottom of the list, right? These are the players that we were able to get at the end of the Mercato. These were the last options. Milan went through the whole list from number one till the last one, and the last one was Chow. They're part of the last group. Of course, if they wouldn't have gotten Chow, they would have found someone else. But I gotta say, that one kind of turned out to be a hidden gem kind of situation because Chow, to me, seems like he has exceptional qualities.
and technically this guy's really good. Chow technically is very good. He's got great reflexes. He's got great attitude defensively. He can win those headers also. He's tall. He's got that characteristic. Now, Chow, I think, is a top notch, A plus, phenomenal signing. It is one of those kind of signings that we're going to be, you know, boasting about when we talk with friends that this Chow is going to be this, in 1 or 2 years. When you talk to your buddies that are Interisti or Juventini, um, you're going to tell them, "Ha, you spent 70 million for this guy, and he's fourth. We spent 4 million on Chow, and look at and we're winning." It's going to be that kind of situation, kind of like with Kalulu, etc. So, yeah. As far as Ali, I don't know, guys. Does anybody know? Can anybody tell me what the hell is happening with Ali? Boo. Who the hell knows? Origi, Origi. I really hope Origi can show his worth. He's getting paid a lot. He's one of the most paid players. So he should have a personal responsibility to understand that he needs to really step it up. Like he can't be playing second fiddle to Giroud. Like you're getting paid twice as much as he is, bro. I have the ability to do that. I don't know. We will see. We will see. But he definitely needs to step it up for sure. Um, I am rooting for Origi, and as soon as he starts playing, I'll give him his flowers. But I got to be honest, I actually really like the way Origi plays. I like the solution that Origi is to the squad. Like if I was if I'm coaching a team and I have a team and I have a player like Origi, that is a player that I would really like to have. So I see why he is deemed valuable to coaches, because he is a player with that characteristic that is very important. He sacrifices himself for his teammates, and that is something very important. You always need that. But that's the kind of spirit, that wins you big games. The spirit of you sacrificing yourself for a team spirit. You can see that is the way he plays. His DNA is he runs all over the pitch. He's there. He's helping. He's always an option. And these are very good traits. It energizes the team around him, and these are very good things. So I can see why coaches like Origi. Um, but maybe the problem is not even Origi. Maybe the problem is Rebic mostly. Rebic had a really poor season again. Rebic also player that is being paid. One of the players that is being paid the most. He is also semi-veteran. He should be in this national team, but his behavior, like what is going on with Rebic? What is this guy doing? Like this guy taking his job seriously? I mean, against Cremonese, his performance was awful. It was so bad. I've never seen anybody perform so poorly, and then he had the audacity to put a video of him doing nutmegging someone I put a video on Instagram of him nutmegging a defender. No, dude, you don't do that. You actually think about your performance and how bad it was. And that formation looked good. What was it? It was a 3-1-4. What was it? It was a three. It was three two. What the hell? 3-4-1-2. Right? It was a 3-4-1-2. That formation looked good, but the guy that was messing that up was Rebic, because Rebic was the link between the midfield and the offense, and every time he came down to in the attacking third to collect the ball, he'd mess it up. His layoffs were all bad. His dribbles were out of time. He was pushed off the ball. He kept losing the ball. The few times he was able to make something happen, we almost scored. If he would have done that for 90 minutes, if he for Rebic, that's what Rebic for what Rebic is getting paid, and for what Rebic should be, what he should be thinking, is to be consistently. You got to be perfect. Perfect is if 10 is perfect, at least shoot for 8. But Rebic is shooting for 3. 3 is enough for him to put a post on Instagram. I mean, that is not good. Like, yo, you got to step it up, my man. You got to step it up. These guys have to start to show some high level football because, again, you have a team on top of us. Those players aren't slowing down for you. Those fucking players are playing like football, like, man, we haven't seen in years. So you can't be sleeping and playing like shit against Cremonese. Yo, you gotta fucking wake up, dude. I need to talk to Rebic right now and talk some sense into that guy. Like, put him on the phone. Let me talk to this guy because this is no good, man. This is no good. Like, what are you doing? Now he has the qualities, so he I hope he wakes up. Maybe he's really suffering the fact that Leao, pretty much took his spot, and Leao is the top G. It was Rebic before Leao. That left wing belonged to Rebic before Leao. During the Pioli era, Rebic was the first choice, and now it turned around. Leao is the first choice. So did that screw with his head? It probably did. It probably did screw with his head. So yeah, Rebic really needs to step it up. Rebic needs to step it up big time. As far as Salamakers goes, Salamakers always gives you great work rate. Salamakers is a player that it doesn't matter if he doesn't makes mistakes. The work rate he gives for the team is always great. So I'm very happy to see Salamakers back. Messias, I like Messias. He's got a good head over his shoulders, and he's a professional, and he understands that he's lucky in the position that he is, and he doesn't take it for granted. That's the thing that I like about Messias. He doesn't take anything for granted, and so yeah. I mean, the issue there is that Origi doesn't score much, and that Rebic is just playing like he doesn't care. Giroud and Ter bringing the gold, yeah, maybe it is possible. Absolutely. As far as the midfield, CDK, we got to see if this World Cup experience gave him something. It is possible that CDK now has gotten something from this experience. I'm not really sure. I mean, to be honest with you, I wouldn't know why or how. I mean, it's not like, I guess, just the experience of being in the team, maybe he energized him. Maybe he just, looking at different, being in a different environment, different scenery, just maybe allowed him to metabolize what he hasn't been able to metabolize just yet in this season so far. Essentially, that's the issue with CDK. He needs to metabolize all of the information that he's gathering, but he's still far from that, from what we saw. But maybe he's going to come back with something more. If CDK can start to show us this second half of the season that he can bring concrete stuff. When I say concrete, I'm expecting performances like SMS, right? Essentially, that's what he's come to do at Milan. He came to do what SMS does with Lazio, or MSM, Milinkovic Savic, or whatever his name is. Essentially, that's why CDK came to Milan to do that. If he can start to do that the second half of the season, it will feel like a new signing. It will feel like a new signing, and I think that will become the narrative. The narrative will be that CDK is a new signing if he can do that. But if he stays the same, then it'll kind of continue being the same. Um, at this moment, I feel Krunic is our best attacking midfielder that we have. I think Krunic is. I love Krunic. That guy is a top G. He's got a great personality. That guy's like every coach would love to have a player like Krunic, a player with that kind of mentality. With that, you know, he just he's a leader. Krunic is a leader. He accepts his role with dignity, and he executes his role with dignity, and he always puts everything into it. And we don't need an attacking midfielder to create anything for us if we get Ziyech. I would like to see my my dream formation right now, today, in this current moment, would be Magnan, Teo Hernandez, Tomori, Kalulu, Calabria. In the double pivot, Tonali and Benacer. The attacking midfield, Kronic. On the left, Leao. On the right, Ziyech. And up top, Giroud. And the reason why I say Krunic is because if we look at all the players that we have, he's the one that is the most reliable. And the way Milan plays, Teo Hernandez is pretty much another striker. So that is our fourth striker. So playing with four attackers on the pitch is more than enough. Okay, like you don't need more than four. You do not need more than four. Uh, all the other guys need to run like hell and fight because that's the way it is. So four guys that are attacking: Teo Hernandez, uh, Leao, Giroud, and Ziyech would be more than enough. Then you have the three midfielders that do the hard work: Krunic, Benacer, and Tonali. They do all the hard work, and then you have Calabria, which is something that attacks and does the hard work, a little bit more defensive than the left fullback, and then you have the two defensive mid defenders there. So it is perfect balance. That is a perfectly balanced team. Um, Now, if CDK starts to become like Milinkovic Savic and to start, because essentially that's what Milinkovic Savic does, right? He plays that attacking midfield role as a midfielder, but he also provides a ton of assists and goals. Goal participation is always off the chain when it comes to Milinkovic Savic. Once CDK gets to that ability, then we have like that's more like a super squad, right? Because you have the guy that can give you the work, but also give you the quality up top. Now, is CDK going to? I mean, essentially, that's what they want from CDK. That's what they are trying to build out of CDK. And this is Milan. If they believe that that's who he can become, they will continue to do it, and hopefully we'll see something. Hopefully we will see something sometime this upcoming year. I'm not sure when. Napoli. I saw Napoli against the Turkish team. They looked great. Their formation was Raspadori, Vicha, Politano, and Osimhen in the top four. They pretty much played with a 4-2-3-1, but not so balanced. It wasn't such a balanced team. As a matter of fact, they got scored on twice. So basically, it was the midfield. The defense was the usual defense minus Kim, but the midfield was Elmas and Lobotka. So Elmas and Lobotka will give you a lot of quality, but they don't give you a lot of muscle, right? So already there, you don't have much balance in the midfield, and Up top, they had Raspadori as the attacking midfielder. They had Vici on the left. They had Politano on the right, and they had Osimhen. That's Osimhen can come and help and bring in that muscle. But Raspadori, Vici, and Politano, yeah, they work hard. But of course, you don't. So it's not a very balanced team. You put Anguissa in there, you put Zielinski in there. That's the most balanced team. The most balanced formation that Napoli has is Lobotka, Anguissa in the double pivot, Zielinski as the attacking midfielder, Vici as the left wing, whoever Politano or Lozano on the right, Osimhen up top. That is the most balanced formation they have. But I saw Raspadori and Vici together, man. They looked incredible. Those guys are. This is why I really am. I'm very adamant about this. Like we need to start playing at a high level, because you can't have and I'm specifically talking about players like Rebic. You cannot have a performance like the one you had against Cremonese when the team in front of you is playing football like in a fucking video game. You can't be Rebic and like out of 10 plays, fuck up 8 of them, and then the one that you got good, you're gonna post it on your Instagram. That's not how we win. That's not how you win Scudettos, and it's disrespectful. It's disrespectful. You got these guys on front of the pack that are playing a level of football that is fucking absurd. And here is Rebic playing such a poor game, and then he has the audacity to put it on Instagram. Um, I don't. It's not that I'm Rebic. I'm not Rebic out. I'm Rebic in. Rebic is a great resource, but he has his moments. He has his moments, and you kind of have to go with the flow. You have to go with the flow. Florenzi and Ibra went to Dubai as well. Look at this. At Nacional, Jorge Mendes wants to take Cristiano Ronaldo to Milan. Cristiano Ronaldo to Milan. Croatia head coach confirms Rebic keeps being snubbed because of expletive expletive rant. Yeah, Ronaldo to Milan. I really feel like any team that would get Ronaldo comes with too much baggage. He comes with too much baggage. And also, one thing I noticed about Ronaldo in this World Cup is that he is not playing with the same agility that he used to. He's starting to, that body is starting to age. It's a little bit heavier. Those ligaments, the what you call them, your joints, everything, the cartilage. Everything is not as pristine as it used to be. It's starting to weather. You can see that in his game. You can see that he's starting to slow down, and he can keep on playing until he's 40. But if he wants to play like a striker that scores 1,000,000 goals, I guess he can do it. I guess which team? If we get, if we bring Cristiano Ronaldo to Milan, the way you play with Cristiano Ronaldo is like this. I'll tell you right away. Magnan, Theo Hernandez, Tomori, Kalulu, Calabria is perfect. Don't change that. Midfield, double pivot, Benacer, Tonali, attacking midfielder, Krunic, and you don't have a choice but to play Krunic. You cannot play anybody else but Krunic there. Leao on the left. Messias or Salamakers. Probably well, no. Probably a Ziyech would be nice. Ziyech. And then your center forward, Cristiano Ronaldo. And you tell him, bruh, all you got to do is lay off the ball and run inside the box and be ready to receive the tap-ins. That's all you got to do. Nothing else. And he can score like a shitload of goals because this guy's one of the best ever at scoring goals. Okay. And we're not talking about a guy that scored 6 goals this season. He scored, like, I think the worst season, a bad season for Ronaldo is finishing with 20 goals, some stupid number like that. So we're talking about one of the greatest goal scorers that has ever existed. We're talking about a goat of goats as far as finding the back of the net. So that's what you use him for. That's it. You put him in a situation where he doesn't do anything but that. You don't ask him to pressure. Well, you ask him to pressure the last defender, sure, but you don't ask him to come back. You don't ask him to do it. You just stay up there. Kind of like how Argentina plays with Messi. That's essentially what Argentina is doing with Messi. They told him, "Yo, Messi, when the other team has a ball, don't worry about it. Chill out. Drink a pina colada. We'll get the ball, and then once we have it, we'll give it to you." So instead of giving the ball to Ronaldo, what we do is we fight for the ball, we win it back, we build it back, we go to Leao, then Leao goes to Ronaldo. We go to Ziyech, then Ziyech goes to Ronaldo. Bada bing, bada boom. You have a trident there with Leao, Ronaldo, Ziyech. Bruh. And then for the next game, you want to rotate, you put Giroud in there, you put Messias here. If you want to get more defensive, you can put Salamakers there. You got Ziyech. Yeah, bring me Ziyech, Ronaldo. Yeah, bring me Ziyech and Ronaldo. I'll be happy with Ziyech and Ronaldo. That'll be nice. Now, the other thing that I think that I am not thinking about is Ibrahimovic, because that's essentially where I want to get at. I have also a feeling that if Ronaldo wants to make a change and he wants to become a valuable asset to teams, he needs to play a little bit more like Ibrahimovic. He needs to play for the team a little bit more. He needs to become a little bit more of a playmaker rather than a dribbler, because it's not there anymore, Rodney. It's not there anymore. The tires are starting to get withered. Stem cells. Oh yeah, stem cells, guys. Watch out for stem cell surgeries, stem cell medications. I think stem cell medications. I don't know if they do them in football. Maybe they do. Probably they do. I don't know. But stem cell medication is going to elongate the career of these players. Tomorrow we had a good interview. This was interesting. So Guardiola wanted to get what's his name? He wanted to get freaking Theo Hernandez. Mañana's back, guys. That is you see, we have a Vicha Verasquilla, guys. We have a Vicha Verasquilla. That's him right there. This guy right here is our Vicha Verasquilla. So it's not like I'm good, like, yo, we got our Vicha Verasquilla. So, whether it's a goalkeeper, the attacker, the defender, as long as you have a top G in the team, you're good. And we got our top G. Okay, guys. So it's been about an hour. I think Larit is going to do it live tomorrow. I think it's going to be open live. A little bit of chaos, but I wanted to talk about these games, the World Cup, the friendlies coming up, and soon we're going to start going live again, like following, post matches, watch alongs, the mercato. Just right now, guys, there's literally like there's no content really to bring out except just talk about whatever. But there's really nothing happening right now. Red John, Red John. So I am out, guys. Tomorrow, Light should be doing a live, and we shall see. Hopefully, he does it either tomorrow or Tuesday. Anyway, guys, have a good one. Peace out. Alla prossima. Arrivederci. Buonanotte.